Alright, this next problem is number 7. I just want to clarify something. Number 7. This is on page 253. Number 7 we're looking at. One of the things, if you look at number 7, it says it's a box of Girl Scout cookies that you are read through the problems with. I'm not going to read the problems for you, but it's the Girl Scout it's the box of cookies that holds 24 cookies, and the container can hold 75 boxes of cookies with it. So that's the problem with it. I just want to clarify. In this problem, there's a little slight confusion. It says that it wants a user to prompt the user for the specified number of box of cookies. We're not going to do that. We're going to just use the constants that's defined in the number of cookies in each box and the container's capacity with this thing. So let's talk about that, because that's there's some editions you have a different version of this thing. So I would like for you to use the constants with this thing. Let's talk about the library file. You're going to be using the IO stream. That's definitely there. We're formatting some formats with this thing, so make sure you're going to use the proper manipulation for outputting the files with this thing. Okay, so what I'd like for you to use is the IOmanip. Okay, include the IOmanip file with this thing, and we're going to come down here. We're going to take a look at this thing. Look at where you want to declare your variables. Between your using namespace and int main, right above it, this is where you want to declare all of your global constants goes here. Okay, all you're going to do, so all the stuff. So let me just help you out with the const. If you remember, start with const what? Int is the data type, and we're going to call this, what's defined already is the number underscore of, this is my identifier, everything uppercase. A constant with it is cookies underscore in underscore, I know this is long, box, I hate this, and you're gonna, they tell you there's 24 cookies per box with it. And then you have another constant, int, and the number is container, alright, underscore capacity, alright, there's 75 is the capacity for the container of the cookies with it. Okay, so this is an area that we're going to use. We're going to use this. This is where you're going to look at this thing. Now, you have to declare the variables with this thing, right? Declare variables here. So declare all your variables here for me. This is the place that you want to do this. There's several ways if you read through the problem. There's number of cookies there that's looking at. Okay, there's number of cookies. Excuse me. Let me continue where we just left off with this right now, just to talk to you about what you need to declare as the number of some of the variables that we're dealing with this problem. There are a number of cookies, number of boxes, number of containers, number of leftover cookies, and number of leftover boxes. Okay, so there should be 5 identifiers in this thing. So I'm just going to call this thing numbers of cookies, numbers of boxes, numbers of containers, and leftover cookies. And the last one is leftover boxes. Okay. So you got these 5 identifiers right now. Next, you need to prompt the user for the number of cookies, for number of numbers of cookies. So you want something like a cout, enter the total number of cookies, and you need to read that and store that into the the number of cookies that you have right here. All right. That's going to be the determining factor for everything else that you come into this thing. Now, when you come down to this thing, the number of cookies, this is very important that you figure out the number of cookies. Let me go ahead and prompt the user for that. Let me pause this really quick. Alright, let me pick up where we left off a little bit about it here. I gave you the number of cookies. I separate the 5 identifiers so we can see what you're looking at with this thing. With it is you have your number of cookies, number of boxes, number of containers, leftover cookies, leftover boxes with this thing. You prompt the user for the number of cookies, which is this identifier right here. This identifier is actually like whatever this number comes in with it. You're going to divide that number with the number of cookies in a box. So that should be 24 up here. Anyway, that would equal to the number of boxes. You take this number of boxes that you have right here, right? That will determine for you the number of containers that you have, right? You're going to divide that with the cap, which is the 75, and then you get that as the number of containers. Next, you're going to take the number of boxes, mod the container and the cap with it, so it's a leftover boxes with. That's the remainder. Remember, this is the mod. This right here will give you the leftover cookies with it. So you got all these right now. The next step is we need to output this to the screen. Okay, hold on. Alright, let's take a look at this problem right here. You got your number of containers equal to 0. Now remember, now you're using equal. That's going to evaluate that to equal to the containers with this thing. You know there's going to be at least one container, right? Now remember, now number of containers up here needs to be at least one container. That's the way how you have this thing set up with it. So there's going to be at least one container, which is this one right here. You got it? So this one's going to actually add to this the number of containers with it. Now then you're going to output this number of containers here. The leftover boxes, alright, leftover, you're going to output that here, which is this number right here, this variable right here, comes down into this test expression. This will give you this output box. If there's leftover cookies, this is the leftover cookies with it. Okay, so that's it for this number 6. Okay, that's